Good afternoon, you all.
Good afternoon.
Uh, well, I just learned that there's a road meeting every first Tuesday of the month. I didn't know that. I wish I, but I'll attend the next one.
Well, you've got to pay closer attention. What can I tell you?
Well, true. All right,
The chair's a very nice guy of the street committee.
okay. Look forward to it. Once again, I see that the road in the Riverview Park is yet to be paved, and upon reading the minutes from the meeting on roads, it appears that it comes down to money. And the roads that are in the most dire need of repair get attention first. And yet I see here that you, under 8.7, have up for funding for the purchase of a mini excavator, and the bid has been waived. Is that backhoe still parked in the playground behind Huntington Library? Because that's certainly an excavator, and if the city owns it, you don't need a new one. I suggest that you take that money you would save, buy some asphalt, and pave the road in Riverview Park. All right, and now for your homework assignment. You know how I keep crying about the frauditors? I got a new one for you all. On YouTube, go to First Amendment Shenanigans. Ellie, that's what he calls himself, has now brought his son into the scene, and they're out frauditoring the neighborhoods. Ellie's he's a career criminal. And they found a nice soft target in Highland Falls, New York. They went to a private library. They love libraries, such a soft target. And they went in there and really just harassed the librarians and the staff until the police were finally called. The librarians closed the library to get rid of them. It's 17 minutes, 25 seconds. It'll give you agita. But again, you need to see what's happening out there. It keeps growing. And of course, there was Delete's Law, Chili DeCastro, another notorious frauditor, who has a new video up, how he interjects himself into traffic stops. I can't stand with the guy, so I missed that one. I skipped that one, rather. But again, your assignment is YouTube, First Amendment Shenanigans. It's titled, Creepy Frauditors Terrify Women. Librarians Forced to Call the Cops. And that's all.
Okay, anybody else wishing to address the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public portion, and at this time I'll issue an official proclamation, which reads as follows. The month of March is Irish American Heritage Month, a time when we celebrate the many achievements of Irish Americans and acknowledge the incredible contributions they have made to the fabric, culture, strength, and prosperity of our nation. And whereas, from the earliest days of our nation, Irish Americans have been proud, determined, tough, and hardworking. They have embodied the tenacity spirit that drives us forward as a nation. And whereas, we celebrate our country's strong relationship with Ireland and its people, as Irish Americans have played a vital role in our nation's history and have made remarkable contributions to all aspects of our nation's development and growth. Irish Americans have spilled their blood to preserve our freedoms and way of life, including the more than 150,000 who fought to save our union in our nation's darkest years during the Civil War. They have helped preserve our nation's most sacred values of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Irish Americans have been risen to the occasion with dignity, distinction, and honor to help move our nation forward. And whereas this month, we salute their efforts that have helped shape the values and all that has made our nation great. We honor the countless ways Irish Americans have enriched our nation as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. We pay tribute to the formidable Irish spirit and the resilience of Irish Americans and their contributions to our nation, community, and our way of life. Now therefore, I, Mark A. Loretti, Mayor of the City of Shelton, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Irish American History Month. Okay,
For the senior center, don't bring it over to them.
okay,
You can read it on March 17th.
Oh, good, very good.
all right. So now we'll move on to the regular scheduled agenda. Minutes for approval. Item 1.1, Board of Aldermen regular meeting of February 13th, 2025, and the special joint BOA and the Public Improvements Building Committee of February 13th, 2025.
So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finance Committee, there are no items. Public Health and Safety Committee, there are no items. And Street Committee, there are no items. I have no report at this time.
No report.
Item number 6, legislative all. Items and public hearings, there are no items. Item number 7, financial business old, there are no items. Item number 8, financial business new. Item 8.1 is March statutory refunds.
Move that the report of the tax collector relative to the refund of taxes for a total amount of $17,491.47 be approved, and that the finance director be directed to make payments in accordance with the certified list received from the tax collector with funds to come from the statutory refunds account. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2 is the amendment to Stepping Stones, Inc., DBA, the Hideout Concessions Agreement.
Move to approve the agreement between the City of Shelton and Stepping Stones, Inc., doing business as the Hideout based on the terms presented in the attached amendment to the concession agreement. Further, authorize Mayor Mark A. Loretti to sign any and all documents to effectuate same.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Discussion?
Apparently, this is a 2% increase in every year, the contract.
Yeah, this is not a new lease that we've had with the Hideouts. They've been around for close to 30 years, I want to say, and they rent the city property, and it's worked well for both us and them.
Helps out the mothers and fathers.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.3 is the amendment to Center Stage Theater, Inc. lease agreement.
Move to approve the agreement between the City of Shelton and Center Stage Theater, Inc., based on the terms presented in the attached lease amendment. Further, authorize Mayor Mark A. Loretti to sign any and all documents to effectuate said amendment. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.4 is the funding for the new roof at the senior center.
Move to add the installation of a partial new roof at the senior center to the capital improvement plan with funding in an amount of $93,482 to come from LoSiP. Further, authorize Mayor Mark A. Loretti to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate same.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. So it says, the partial installation. This is the majority of the roof. There are two different roofs on this building, and one is a flat portion that houses all the mechanical equipment, and the other is a peaked roof. That is the thing that you see when you pull up to it, which is much larger in scale. We did the flat portion, I want to say 5 years ago, but don't quote me on that.
We have a series of leaks, or just that it's worn now?
Well, it's 34 years old and we
We've
do
never
have some
touched it.
leaks.
Okay, good. All right.
We have leaks,
Got your money.
we have tiles that fly off of it. So
Got your money's
it's
worth.
time to change it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.5 is the funding for the new roof at Mohegan School.
Move to authorize the borrowing of $1.4 million for the purpose of funding the new roof at Mohegan School. Further, authorize Mayor Mark A. Ready to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the same.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion?
Did we only have one bidder? Or was this?
No, this is not it.
Not it.
This is the architect's estimate, which is required by the state. Now, we've done a lot of these roofs.
Yeah.
So we should know all this by now. If we're just following the state's procedure and the 1.4 million represents the city's share. If you don't know.
Yeah.
The state gives us, I want to say a 39%. Cost share on that, for that project. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.6 is the adoption of the local option to use a higher motor vehicle depreciation schedule. We'll put the motion on the floor and I've asked the assistant tax assessor to be here to explain how we got to this point.
Be it resolved that the Shelton Board of Aldermen hereby directs the City of Shelton tax assessor to apply the modified schedule of depreciation for the valuation of motor vehicles as referenced in Section 2, House Bill 7067. Further, such schedule shall be applied for the assessment year commencing on or after October 1st, 2024. Thereafter, the assessor shall adjust and republish the grand list not later than April 15th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. For discussion purposes, I'm gonna ask Bob, our assistant tax assessor, to explain this.
Originally, the state came up with a new bill to lower everybody's motor vehicle assessment. And we had to take the MSRPs this year and depreciate them by a schedule that they get, set schedule. And for all new cars up to 1 year, it was 85% of the MSRP times 70% for your assessment. So now the municipalities, we lost like $65 million off the grand list. And municipalities went to the legislators, so they came up with this thing. You could have a local option. And it's gonna go from 80, everything's gonna go up 5%. So the first year cars from 85%, they're gonna be depreciated 90% instead of 85%. So it's gonna bring an extra roughly $20 million in assessment assessment for this year back from, we lost 65 million and this will bring about 20 million back.
For the state.
No, just listen. We're not, the explanation is not done, okay? So
We lost 65 million off the motor vehicle grand list, okay?
For the city of
Originally. And so the municipalities got together and went to their legislators and said, this is killing us. So they modified the schedule and they upped it 5%. Still lower than it's been in the past, everybody's assessment, but it's gonna bring back some revenue to the cities.
So the reality of this is when the grand list came out at the end of February, for the first time in 34 years, the city of Shelton's grand list saw a reduction of 0.5%, which is significant, which equals about $1.2 million in revenue that we normally would have gotten. Now, the city of Shelton was not the only recipient of this. Every municipality around the state. I think that Milford lost 3/4 of a point. And the city of Bridgeport, whom I think legislators were trying to accommodate, lost 1.5%. So from my standpoint, when I look at this legislative initiative, this is just dumb. Because if you're trying to appease people, you're only appeasing a small percentage of the public in Connecticut that just owns motor vehicles. So what did these legislators think was going to happen if they eliminated the motor vehicle tax. We've been going through this for 20 years, back to Governor Rell. And it didn't work then, and it's not gonna work now. So if you eliminate all this motor vehicle, taxes, what do you think is gonna happen? The personal property owners are gonna have to
Right.
pick up the tab.
Right.
So the legislators who have no backbone are here in a position giving things away. And they're making us at the local level
Pay for it.
pay for it and shift the burden somewhere else so that we'll take the blame for it. And I gotta tell you something, we need to look at our state reps because they were in the affirmative on this vote. In the affirmative. So, you know, this is just ridiculous nonsense. The things that go on in Hartford. And I guess they got, some of these state reps got enough pushbacks from their municipalities that that's what brought about this change. Is it great? No, it's not great, but it is better. It is better. And you know something, we in Fairfield County are gonna face this on another issue called the Aquarian water sale, which I'll be talking about. And again, we need to question how our state reps voted on this. So, Bob, did I leave anything out?
I think we're good. It's,
You know, I forgot to tell Bill to have you give a list of other municipalities in the area to see what their reductions were.
on average around this area, everybody went down about 15% on their motor vehicle grand list. This will bring it back, this could be up to $380,000 more in revenue with this new bill.
How much, what'd you say, 80,000?
380,000?
No, we're gonna get, of the 1.2 that I said that we were losing, we'll get back 380,000.
Is there a way that you're going to create some sort of a explanation of what this is all about, and communicate it to the public?
Sure they even know about the original,
Right, they don't know what's coming.
because their assessments are gonna be going, most likely, most assessments are gonna be going down anyway on the motor vehicle, even with this new bill.
So they're gonna see,
They're gonna be happy because their motor vehicle bill is gonna be going down regardless.
yeah, their motor vehicle taxes are gonna be negligible, but where do they get their real estate taxes? The one that we have to levy.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah,
So be prepared to defend it to your constituents, as we often say here.
well, the dialogue will be captured in the minutes and should form the basis for our ability to respond.
Okay, so, we should approve this thing to
Move
at
the
least
question.
stop some of the bleeding.
Move the question.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This takes us to item 8.7, the funding for the purchase of a mini excavator and waiver of bids.
Move per the recommendation of the finance director to waive the bidding process for the purchase of a used mini excavator in an amount of $69,000 with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter.
Motion is made and seconded, discussion. So I want to ask to have this motion modified because as I've said to you before, when we buy used equipment, usually at auctions or at some type of bidding process created by the dealer or the owner of the equipment, there's not a guarantee that we will prevail. And so this may or may not happen, but there are other pieces of equipment that we are looking at for public works. One is from a town in Connecticut who's getting rid of equipment that we probably could use and probably for the right number. And there are other things that we need to get. So I thought if we could modify this motion to include an appropriation of, let's say, 100,000 as opposed to 69, and leave the amount, leave the wording in there for the purchase of a used mini excavator, and then in the addition to other public works equipment, i.e. trucks.
The balance, the balance of the 100, so it would be 30 for trucks.
Well, it may not. It may be, we may use it all on trucks if we can't get the mini excavator. So let me also explain what happened to the mini excavator. We have one, and we've had one for years, and we use it down the transfer station on a daily basis for the push down. Apparently, the gearbox exploded internally, and and a lot of the metal chips went throughout the system, which drives all the hydraulics of that machine. And so we got an estimate to have it repaired from a dealer, and it was 44,000. And I thought to myself, we're gonna spend almost 50,000 on a used piece of equipment that we already own. I'm not sure. But I know that we need one, and even if we had an extra one, while we figure out what we're gonna do with the old one, it puts us in a better situation. It's not gonna go to waste, because we use that excavator for street openings, and we use it down the transfer station. It's like when we bought the Beast, the second Beast. We've taken the old Beast, which we've owned for 25 years, and we brought it up to the compost site. So they use it up there for grinding. So when there are a lot of storms, we don't take all the trees that have fallen down from the White Hills area or the Huntington area and have to transport them down to the transfer station. We're bringing them there now, and we're gonna grind them on site. And it cuts down our response time when we're doing cleanup, and it cuts down on our time even when we're doing the final disposal of it. So, to have an extra piece of equipment certainly provides a big advantage for us. In
So
terms,
are they gonna be using this down the transfer station for the push down, the 18,000 pound machine?
yeah, and this is a newer model. It's I think it has about 2,000 hours on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to employ the same type of thinking and concept for garbage trucks, which we need to get. We need to get a couple more of our automated trucks soon. And/or we need to rehab some of the old ones, which we've done before. This board has approved money to rehab some of these machines. See, my feeling is that this is metal, and we're placing metal parts. To buy new equipment today is off the charts.
Time consuming.
Yeah, very time consuming. A new recyclable truck costs 450,000. For us to get a new school bus, we're gonna pay 140,000. When we bought the original ones, we paid 90. That's how much things have gone out of whack. And I know I'm giving you a lot of different examples, but I want you to just get a flavor for what's going on, because some of this stuff is gonna be coming back before you soon. So is there a motion to amend this?
Well, I'm trying to figure out the amendment.
Well, you can just use in the minutes my explanation.
So what we'd be doing, we'd be amending the dollar amount in the motion from 69,000 to 100,000.
Correct.
And we'd be adding for other public works equipment.
Correct.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries.
you
Gotta
gotta,
go on the main motion.
well, you gotta go to main motion though. We do.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Okay, now we'll vote on the motion as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Please let the record show that I was right.
And
First,
The lightning didn't strike.
Hey, John, there's one thing I've learned along the way is that when someone's right, they're right. You shouldn't try to continue to beat a dead horse that's not getting up. Okay, item 8.8 is the funding for sanitary products for various schools.
move to reimburse the Board of Education for the stated mandated purchase of sanitary products for various city school restrooms in an amount of $18,416, with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
The question here is they're ordering 52 dispensers for tampons and pads.
Yeah,
There's 52 girls' bathrooms in the school system?
no, this is for the new installation in the boys' bathrooms.
Putting tampon dispensers in the.
Well, they
boys'
have
bathrooms?
already. They've done it already for the intermediate school and the high school, I believe. This is a new state law. This is a new state law. We need to talk to our state reps to find out where their voice is. This defies all things in logic and nature.
Right.
Now, the second point that I'd like to make is that when this request came down, he was gonna take this out of the $200,000 that we originally appropriated.
Yep.
And now we're shifting gears. And that's not how this motion reads.
No, my understanding, maybe this will turn the light on. My understanding is that the amount that he wanted to use exceeded the 200,000 that we agreed that he would get out of capital improvements. So the number of 18,416 brings us up to 200,000. The rest, they're gonna have to find themselves. That's what I was just told.
So this is not coming from aldermanic bond. This is coming from the 200,000.
Only eight, yeah, from the 200,000, the capital improvements you're gonna give them for this year. That would be under capital.
Yeah.
Bonding. So it would be under bonding,
But it would be part of the 200,000.
correct. And-
Okay,
And the excess, he's gonna have to pay for it himself.
right. I mean, this really follows along the same lines as the tree work that they asked for Booth Hill School last month.
Hello.
You know, I mean, if you keep giving them money, they're gonna keep asking. I mean, I would do the same. You guys would probably do the same thing as well. They need to learn how to manage their money.
Again, the number of 52 dispensers between those two schools just blows my, are there 52 restrooms in total in those two schools?
I couldn't give you the answer to that.
If I may, did you just say they're gonna be in the men's and they're gonna, these
They're
are for the
already in
men's,
the-
they're in the men's room?
These are going in the boys' bathrooms.
Okay.
These are dated from September and October of last year, so obviously these things are already done. We're just approving them to be able to spend the money.
Sounds like a license for vandalism.
Oh, well, I hope
September
not. I hope not.
26th and October 22nd.
Okay, so if you look at the back of that,
Yeah, sure.
the memo, yeah, it says, so that the record understands the motion that this is not a new appropriation. This is coming out of the $200,000 appropriation.
Correct.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye. Are you only one in favor?
Question, I just have a
Oh,
quick.
go ahead.
What happens if we tell the state to go pound sand and say no? And because this is lunacy. Our legislators have nothing better to do than to shove this crap down the throats of all the cities and towns. It's just asinine. It's a joke. These people need their head examined.
But they probably, I think.
You're
it's
preaching to
already-
the choir here, Eric.
No, but we see this, I mean,
Well, my first question would be the 52, like Porter said, I'm looking, the total $9,800 to install 52 little stupid things that aren't even
But is it
needed.
mandated they have to be in every bathroom?
thanks to your,
Boys' bathrooms.
yeah, thanks.
Oh, I know. It's mandated in every.
I don't know what the exact verbiage is in the legislation, but
In all restrooms, it says.
They probably want it for convenience.
because we talk about this at the Council of
Yeah.
Governments meeting with the other mayors and we just scratch our head and say, you gotta be kidding me. So what's happened in a lot of school districts is the boys will go in there and rip them off the wall and they'll take the product out of the dispensers and stuff them down the toilet.
Yep.
So it's costing you more money in maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. And is the state gonna cover those expenses? Of course not.
How often do you have to refill
You should never have to refill them.
I know that. Should never have to fill a period.
I love to know what's coming down the pike next.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed.
Oh, okay. All right, we have all right, so let's do a roll call.
Yeah.
Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'll oppose it.
Yes, I oppose.
Opposed?
Opposed.
I don't oppose the motion. I oppose in principle,
Right.
the legislation that was passed. But if.
That's not what the motion is, though.
I know.
Get a yes or no.
Yeah, just give me a yes or no.
No, John.
No, I'll go with no.
Opposed.
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 Okay, motion fails. I want to say I applaud that. I do. I just, at some point in time, you gotta say enough is enough.
Well, they could use the money. They can use their money.
Right,
It's a state mandate,
they could use their
but
money.
not out of that.
That's right. There's still the money there for them.
Okay, this takes us to item number 9, legislative new, items, there's no items from public, we have to send an item to public hearing. Item 9.1A, proposed ordinance, school bus stop alarm program and enforcement. Do we have to vote on that?
No,
No.
no, we just have to refer it.
Okay. All right, and at this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Who should we invite?
It's on item 10.2, right?
Yeah, item 10.2 in
Invite them.
well, Corporation Council always, and then the 2 administrative assistants.
So moved.
Bob, you can get out of here.
Thank you, Bob.
Second.
Second.
Third.